This is one of my favorite go-to proteins. You'll need some extra firm tofu, the seasonings of your choice, whatever you would normally use for fried chicken, some cornstarch, and some nutritional yeast. You'll start by draining your tofu. You might even choose to press it overnight. Instead of cutting your tofu, try ripping the tofu block into nice little chunks. All of those nooks and crannies hold the seasoning and the breading in a way that isn't as delightful and crunchy as if you cut it. And then season your tofu chunks. Here I'm using paprika, cayenne, turmeric, black pepper, Lowry seasoned salt, and MSG. Flip them over and do the other side. You really want that seasoning to really be in all of the nooks and crannies. And then I would suggest a marinating for at least 30 minutes or overnight if you have the time. For the breading, you're going to use cornstarch and nutritional yeast in a ratio of about 2 to 1. I think here for an entire block of tofu I used maybe a quarter cup of cornstarch. And maybe about an eighth a cup of the nutritional yeast flakes. Mix that breading up. And I'm also using a recycled takeout container to bread the tofu in. You can also use a paper bag, which is traditional. Preheat your oven to 385. And I like to use a cast iron pan with a couple of tablespoons of cooking oil in it and get that preheated as well. And you'll bread your tofu nuggets in really small batches, depending on the size of your container, not more than like 3 or 4 pieces at a time. And I'll seal my container and then give that a nice shake. And using the wet hand, dry hand method, place each one of them, making sure that there's a little bit of space between each nugget. And this is what they look like when they go in the oven. You're gonna give them anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes, depending on the color that you like, on one side, and then flip them over, and then return them to the oven for another 20-30 minutes, depending again on the color that you like. Crunch level, if you will. And that's what they look like when they are done. And this is the delicious meal I made with a side salad and some sweet corn. And this is me enjoying a delicious tofu nugget. Full recipe in the caption.